I'm going to tell you what it is. I'm going to tell you the key ideas about it and how you can mirror and how I mirror people who are doing things better than me. So I can just like go up in my property journey. So this time is for you. This time is just to answer your questions. This time is to help you move that 1 step, 10 steps, 15 steps forward in your property journey. Now, you take control of a house or a flat, and then you pay the landlord a fixed amount per calendar month. And then you'll go, well, why? Why would somebody want to give you a house when you can make more money from it? There's a shed load of reasons. Put in the box below why somebody would give you their property or give me it. Now let's just share some ideas. The more we can share some ideas, the more somebody might get a light bulb moment and go, you know what? I now know a landlord who has that problem. So I'll give you some. Number 1, they just can't be bothered. Life's hard for some people. Just anything is just a complete, what I say in Newcastle, a ball ache, a chew on. So many people find life hard, so just the idea of having to do more viewings, more call outs, a bit more repair, just is irritating. And because of that, they just want hassle free. And so if they know they're getting a fixed amount of money per month, then you can then do whatever you want with it. So I've had landlords who go, look Tom, there's the keys, do whatever you want with it, as long as I'm getting paid. Who would like a landlord like that? Give me some smiles. Now that's how some of our landlords work. Can't be bothered, just have the house. So there's that. What else? Give me some of the reasons why landlords might want to give you their property. I've got the CBAs. Any others? The more you share, the more we can help each other. And the more I can go, good idea, I've not thought of that one myself. Because you might know more than I do. I only know this much, and there's like this much out there in the world. So yeah, there we go. Thanks very much, Jake. No voids. Stressed, they cost, and they're not investment driven. Yeah, they might have inherited the house. I've got a landlord where I got a purchase lease option, where they inherited the house, they didn't have the time or the inclination, or they didn't live in the area, so they couldn't manage it themselves. Yep, I've got one for that exact reason, Tony. They lived too far away to manage it, and they didn't trust the local agents because the local agents let them down. So there's an exact reason why that would be good. Okay, so where do you find such landlords? Okay, so we now know there's more than one reason why somebody might give you their house. Correct? Yep. Landlords who are retiring. Now, Section 24, by the way, is kicking in. And there's just a flood of buy-to-lets going on because exactly that. They're retiring from being a landlord. They can't be bothered. And so there's just a flood of single buy-to-lets. Cheap ones, typically, like 40 to 60K. So if you want, by the way, 20% return on a single buy-to-let, then maybe we should have a conversation because I could find them pretty easy. Okay, so yeah, but you're going to need to leave about £15,000 in the deal. But that's side right. Okay, so rent to rent. So we got a house and you pay the landlord an X amount. They're happy because you've solved their problem. Now that's key because if you can listen, you can find solutions to somebody's problem, then you can find you're offering a value and service, and that value and service then just has a monetary value to it. And what that value is up to you. Now I can give you my rule of thumb, how much money I want to make from property, and it's different to you. Maybe you're in London and one room rent is £1,000 or £800. Now that might be a slightly different rule. So for me, up north, I go for 1.5 rooms profit. So if I take a house and control it and give the landlord, let's say £1,000, and I can make £450 per room, and there's 6 rooms. 450 times 6 gives you a big gross rent roll. Take away the bills, take away the rent that I pay the landlord, and I'm left with a chunk of cash. Okay, that chunk of cash is my profit for my business, your business, and that is how much profit do you want to make. My rule of thumb: 1.5 months of a room. So if it's 450, I want, what was that, 8, 9, 700, 775. You get the idea. So basically, what, 450 plus half another month, half a room extra. Okay, so that gives me my buffer. So maybe it's 700, 750, and there is a little bit of wriggle room. Because if you have to put no money into that property because it's perfect, and you can lease the furniture, so there's no down payment on the furniture, and you can get cash flow really quickly because it's a really popular area, you might pay a bit more because you've got no money outlay. Whereas if your room's rule of thumb is 1.5 months and you haven't spent £3,000 on the property, you might go, okay, I might need a bit more profit to cover that base. So there is a bit of wiggle room. I can show you how I deep dive on the appraisal on this 2-day rent to rent masterclass in February, or on another video. I might do an appraisal video on its own. Okay. So now you can see how the basic rent to rent model works. I control a property. I then split the rooms out. Or you can do rent to rent service accommodation. It's like Airbnb. You rent a flat or a house, you then run it as a short stay let. I don't operate that because for me, I'm quite risk averse and there's a lot of uncertainty. Rents, the amount of money you make each month does this. And when I quit my job 2 years ago, I had hardly any income and I needed, and maybe you do, a regular income stream coming in. So you're not having to stress about, am I going to pay the bills? So I chose not to do SA, service accommodation, because I don't want the fear each month going, yes, this month I've made thousands, next month it's quiet, I haven't made hardly any. So I didn't want that, and that's why I chose not to do service accommodation. And I know a lot of people out there who are making good money on paper, and I don't know their financial setups once they've been taxed and whatnot. So I can't vouch whether SA is an amazing model for people doing rent to rent. But for me, HMO rent to rent has been awesome. My business, we made over £100,000 profit in the business last year. Okay, how amazing is that? And that was just all through rent to rent HMO. So how can you get started? Well, I'm going to say you're going to have to get some education. I had to get educated. Everybody who's trying to do anything, yes, you can learn by doing, but either you have a mentor standing over you or on your shoulder helping you, guide you, or you just invest in some education to be a better version of yourself doing it. Now, I tried to start last year in February 2017, watching YouTube videos, posting on forums. It was slow and you get conflicting information. So I prefer to just mirror somebody who's doing it. So we've got find a landlord, and we've listed above, and I've spoke verbally on how you can find, different reasons why a landlord might want to have it. Another one I didn't mention, by the way, is that they just have a rundown HMO, house share already, and they just haven't got the money to do it up. Or they don't know the market that I do, you want to do, which might be professionals. They just don't get it. Where do you find these tenants? So that you're solving their problem. They're not making enough money, they've got bills to pay, they can't be bothered, they haven't got the money to do it up, and you're here like a big glowing knight in shine armor going, I'm here to solve your problems, give you some rent, and you can forget about this for the next 3 to 6 years. Make sense? So then you make it your own. Now, good places is if you follow Instagram, follow my the Tom Heaney. I post pictures of my refurbs in there and the interior design. So if you want to get ideas of how to get the edge with your HMOs, follow me on Instagram, the Tom Heaney, and then start just adding value to what would make somebody want to live in that house share. Is it the good fact they've got really good quality beds, nice mattresses, nice living spaces, communal spaces, all the bills included, a cleaner every week? And so you're providing a package of service and you're solving somebody else's problem. So you've solved the landlord's problem, now you're solving people who don't want to live on their own. Maybe they don't want to buy furniture because they're only staying there for 6 months. Maybe they don't want the uncertainty of how much the gas, electricity, council tax and paying the landlord rent is going to be. And so you offer them a value service, which is all bills included, a cleaner and a fully furnished bedroom, and then they can move in and live happily ever after for 6 months. Some of my tenants have stayed with me, by the way, for over 2 years. Now, I have been an HMO, house of multiple property landlord, for nearly 4 years now, or maybe 5. Yeah, 5. And in that time, yes, I have owned one, so I know how to look after the manager, and that's why I can give you this extra value. Because be mindful of people who've just started out. Maybe they've just got 1 or 2 rent to rent, and they've only been going out at 6 months or less. They can teach you how to find one, potentially, and negotiate to an extent, but they haven't got the years of experience on how to actually set them up, systemize them, and run them cost effectively, and know the pitfalls of managing tenants. Now, you might be watching this and you might go, Tom, I don't want to manage tenants. So I can show you how to use and leverage agents to manage your rent to rents as well. Give me a thumbs up if you think that might be pretty awesome to use and know about. So we've got find a house, see where you can add value, see if there's a demand to rent those rooms out. You then rent them out either through your own management company or give it to an agent. And so then you're giving it to an agent or you're managing it yourself. The reason I manage them because I didn't want to spend 10 to 12% giving it to an agent. I needed that in-house because I had hardly any cash. I quit my job, had no paid salary coming in. I had a very small amount of rental income coming in, and so I was poor. I had £5,000 left in my name, which some people go, wow, that's a lot of money. But it's not when you've got a full motor pay, a van, a lifestyle, and a partner who are used to a different lifestyle. And so I only had probably two and a bit grand to set up my business. Okay, so I had to use all my rent to rents using other people's money. So I got 10 rent to rents in 10 months. I'm not saying that I brag. That's because I followed a system, and that created 65-ish rooms, 66 maybe, that were rented out, and we only have one room empty right now. Now we've got 76 rooms currently live. I've got another 7 coming on as of next week. I've got another 50 that are actually being renovated right now to come live in quarter one of next year. So I'm telling you that because I'm showing you the journey I've come through in 20 months. And so I use rent to rent as a cash flow vehicle because I make, what was my rule of thumb again? It's 1.5 rooms is my rule of thumb that I want to make profit. So if you had 10 of them, that's minimum by the way. Some might make £1,100 net rent per calendar month. Some make 550, so there's a fluctuation. So that created income, and then you've got a choice. You either go, that's it, financially free now, that money can service the lifestyle I want, or you can do what I did and go, you know what, that now enables me to pay for other people, other people's time to bring in, to give me my time back to do what I want. So there's my next question to you is, if you built a rent-to-rent portfolio, let's say you had 3, so let's say you had £3,000 coming in. Some of you, that would make you financially free. It would cover your expenses so you could live the lifestyle you're living right now without having to go and get a job. But would you do what I did? Bring in staff so you could scale and grow and do the business that you want to do? Or would you go, you know what, I'll just happily manage that small portfolio half a day a week and I just want to just enjoy my life? What would be your strategy? Would you just enjoy the time you've got back? Or would you actually use that income to scale? Write the word scale or write the word time back in the comments. So I know that you would enjoy that rent to rent to give you time back to spend time with the kids, spend time playing golf, mountain biking, whatever. Or would you do what I did? And yeah, I get time, by the way. I mean, I'm not saying I don't have time, but I'm using that time to, look for bigger deals. I bought once they've been refurbed, I've bought about £1.6 million GDV, gross amount value, of properties in February. That's once the refinance has taken place. So that's where I'm putting my time. Make sense? And I love educating and giving back to you guys as well. So with that, you've got a choice. Do you then scale and grow, or do you enjoy it, or do you have a bit of a blend? Now, I scale and grow, and because I want to make a shed load of cash, not because I just want to swim around in it, because you can't really give back and help other people if you haven't got any yourself, because that money enables you to have time, and also I can invest in other people. I want to invest in young entrepreneurs and help them be that mentor and coach and give them some seed funding. What would you do if you created a bigger multi-million pound business through property? What would you do? Because that's my big postcard, that's my big goal, my big reason why is I'm striving. Yes, it's going to give me the time back to enjoy going skiing, but at the same time, my fulfillment is educating. My fulfillment is helping other people get to their postcards and get them to financial freedom. And because I was a teacher for 10 years, and the kids voted me national and regional awards, which is like amazing, I want to give back to them. I want to go back and give them the time, and I want to educate them on how to use money properly, because they don't teach that in school. So that's why I'm scaling and growing. That's why I have a PA and somebody who manages full-time the property portfolio, and sources and deal stacks and appraisers, so I can be at the front end really striving forwards. Make sense? Give me a thumbs up if that makes sense. So, where does the rent-to-rent HMOs work? Anywhere where there is employment. So, anywhere where there's hospitals, schools, big shopping centres, universities, big industrial areas, high-tech industrial parks, anywhere where there's people who have maybe shift work, that have low incomes, where they may not necessarily be able to afford a flat on their own, but higher end. Doctors who come and do a 6-month placement, 3-month placement. Nurses, 6-month placement or a year. I do post-grad students as well. I don't do students, but then, there's different tenant types. So wherever you think, you know what, people will want to have an all bills included service, it will potentially work. You need to learn how to appraise it, and I can show you how to do that, by the way, in February, 2nd and 3rd. I don't know, some people who are watching this might have already been on one of my events. Please do say if you've been and what's it been like. So with rent to rent, you're controlling houses, you're providing a great service, you're filling them full of people who want your house, and you're making it look awesome by providing all-inclusive bills, a clean air, nicely decorated bedrooms. But because you don't own it, you don't want to spend shed loads of cash. So that's why I try and get the landlords to pay for it all. But sometimes, my house spent up to £10,000 on some of our rent to rents. But the thing is, I'll only spend it if I know I'm going to get a good ROI, return on investment. So over the 3 years, let's say, even on the ones I spent £10,000, my return on investment is over 1,000% return over the 3 years. Isn't that pretty good property investing? I think it is. Give me a thumbs up if you would like 1,000% return. Some people are happy with 6%. Okay, and it is good. But if you can make 1,000% over 3 years, would that not be an even better deal? And the best thing about rent to rent as well is, rather than so let's say some of my rent to rents, the purchase price of the property was £400,000. So if you had to buy that house to turn it into an HMO, house share, of maybe 6 or 7 people, what would be your deposit at 25%? So £400,000, how much money would I need in my pocket to put down as a deposit for that house? Even if it was a 20% deposit. How much? £80,000. So that £80,000 you then put in, you got then stamp duty on top of that, you got legals, then you got your refurb. So you might be all in £95,000 to create a 6-bed house. But I tell you what, why not just control these houses for 6 years and get the same level of rent roll, and you've only put in maybe £6,000-7,000. Would that not make sense? So that's why I'm doing rent to rent still. Yes, I'm buying assets as well because I'm about lifetime legacy, but wouldn't £1,000 per calendar month extra, 2,000, 3,000, if you had 10 of them, I think we've got 13 now. If you've got 13 rent to rents, plus some purchase lease options, so all of that using other people's money to create you cash flow each month, to bring in staff, to give you your time back, to then do the stuff that you really want to do, is that not a good idea as stage one? And then once you've got your cash flow baseline covered, so you're financially free, you then have the time to build the business for legacy building and for lifelong cash flow. Give me a thumbs up if you think that is quite a savvy way of thinking. Now, that means that you're not having to go for a 9-to-5 job. That means you're not having to save up £95,000 as a deposit, and you get cash flow really quickly. So the one we secured just 2 weeks ago, we're actively marketing it. Christine filled one of the rooms just today. They move in the 5th of January. And so even got it 2 weeks ago, we've already filled a room and we've not even finished refurbing it yet. So that's rent to rent in a nutshell. Control a property, multi-let it into different rooms, rent it back out, adding great value and service. You then create a bit of an extra profit. You keep the profit, typically 1.5 rooms, but if you're in London, you might just do 1 room, but it depends on your risk model. But you want to make at least £700, worst case 500, but you can make £1,500 per calendar month. How many of them would you need to change your life or help create the different lifestyle that you want? So once you've learned that you got to know how to close a deal. You've got to know how to find the deal. You've got to learn how to close the deal. And then if you're going to systemize it yourself and manage it like I do with my team, then you've got to learn how to scale and grow that, or outsource the whole thing. And I can show you how to do that too. So with that in mind, you need my training, because I'm doing it right now. I'm a nationally rewarded teacher, and my testimonies sell itself. Now, just think, if you just have one rent to rent, within a couple of months, you'll make the initial investment back, and that's it, okay? So, if you don't get the investment into the education, you might end up taking on the wrong deal. You might get a deal that doesn't make any profit. You might actually start taking on deals and you could have got an even better deal. And your eyes and your vision in terms of what's available out there will go from this go like this. Whoa, I didn't realise what's out there. Okay, my mentees, when I chat with them and we look at their planning, they when we're looking at their area, it goes like this. Wow, I didn't realise what opportunities there were out there and how many different creative solutions there are. So if you come and join me on these 2 days, I'll give you the results that you need to get started, the contracts, my deal analyzer. I'll give you my scripts to negotiate the deal, because that is where most people struggle. And so I'm going to give you the scripts I use to close a deal and get it nailed. I'm going to show you how to refurb and manage the properties so it costs hardly anything, and all my little top saving tips on how to really systemize and manage it so you get your time back. And then if you're like me and you want to scale and grow, then I'm going to show you how you can do that. And in Grant Cardone says 10x it. And so you can do what you want to do, and also raise money, because I did this with none of my own cash. Yes, I had a couple of grand to start, but I had to learn how to use other people's money to do all this as well. So in those 2 days, now you might see some people out there might be offering a 1-day course. A 1-day course, they will sell you a 2-day course off the back of it, because you can't cover it all in 1 day. Do you really think if you attend somebody's 1-day course that it's going to actually give you the complete, full deep dive into a full business model? You know I'm right, okay? And that's why, I did run 1-day courses at the start of the year, and I realised there's no way I cover it and I give the value and over-deliver and make sure people leave feeling confident and understand, have a roadmap of how to get going, and also how to scale. So yeah, there are people out there who are offering these little taster sessions, or I'm going to teach you everything I know, but if they just work out what do they know. Some people have only been in it a few months, so they don't know much. So, yes, I've been in full-time 20 months, but I've been probably 10 years. And I'm going to show you how you can scale and grow a multi-million pound portfolio in a short space of time. So, get started. I know that sounds like a really ridiculous answer. Get out viewing properties that you think work and start appraising them and start offering on them the right way. That's the best way. So when I started February 2017, I had a choice. I had to get all my business set up, looking all sexy, fully compliant, nice logo, nice branding, nice website, nice material, and fully understandable, or just get out there and start understanding it and making some mistakes. That's my initial advice. My next bit of advice is, honestly, get educated. And if it's not by me, get some education somewhere else. But get quality education on somebody who's credible, they can prove that they're doing it right, and also that you can align with and you can see that you get a value from them. Okay, so I also invested in some people's time one-to-one the past 20 months, and some people pretend they're doing great stuff, and when I grilled them one-to-one, the credibility and the depth wasn't there. Okay, so just be careful. Just do your due diligence on them. I had a fantastic one-to-one session last week, and they even sent me up some champagne as a thank you, because they already had a rent-to-rent business, and they came to spend a 1 day with me one-to-one, and I looked at how to systemize and scale their business. They were skeptical initially as well. They weren't sure whether that could add value, but they were blown away so much they even sent me a beautiful card, a fantastic testimony on my Facebook, and they even sent me some champagne. So how honoured and touched was I, okay? But the reason I'm telling you that is because I'm trying to show you that when I say I want to over-deliver, I do, okay? And I also offer 100% satisfaction guarantee. So maybe you're going, I don't know whether, Tom, the 2 days will be great or not. It will. But let's say during the first day you go, Tom, it's not for me. I've decided rent-to-rent's not for me. I'll give you a full refund to make sure you're 100% satisfied with the investment in your education. You have to invest. I invest in my learning every single day. I'm reaching out, I'm looking, I'm constantly evolving and learning how to close more deals, how to appraise deals even better, how to systemize and scale the business even more, how to make efficiency savings in different areas of like the utilities, our cleaning team. So I'm constantly learning how to become a better version of me, and the people who don't do that are less likely to be awesome. Teach you on this 2 days on how to appraise a deal, and with that you'll then know how much you can offer and pay. So some of my landlords I pay market rent, some of my landlords I pay about £500, £600 less than they wanted. In fact, I've got some landlords where I'm paying over £1,000 less than what they were achieving a couple of years ago. I can show you how to do it. It's just part of the appraisal process and the offer. My name's Tom Heaney. Take care. There you go. Thanks for watching. If you like this stuff and you want to see more, there's more videos just right there. And every single week I post brand new content for you about how to become a property investor or developer. All I ask is subscribe so you can see this every week, and like and comment But if you also want to see me on other channels, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn are right below, so click on there too. I look forward to seeing you real soon face to face. Take care.